I might look a little silly today, but that's because I'm so excited to talk to you about something near and dear to my heart that if you're living in the Portland metro area, you have at your fingertips. We're going to be talking about Mount Hood today, and we're getting after it right now. If you've never been to our channel, hit the subscribe button, tap the notification bell because we're putting out content every week. We want you to be a part of our community. We love the reach outs. Thank you for the texts and the phone calls and the emails. If you haven't done that already and you're thinking about making a move to Portland, all of our contact information is listed below. Don't hesitate. We'd love to connect and help you make a smooth move to the Portland metro area. I thought I would make this video in perfect time because guess what's happening right now as I'm doing this video? It has snowed 2 feet on Mount Hood. Now, if you're making a move to Portland or you're living in Portland or you're thinking about making a move to Portland, I want to tell you all about the wonderful things about our dear Mount Hood because quite honestly, it is one of the reasons I love living in the Portland metro area. See, I grew up in Portland and I called it living on the mountain. I didn't actually live on the mountain, but my parents put my butt on skis when I was 5 years old. And we would go up there for all of our vacations, or we would go to Mount Bachelor, which is in Bend, Oregon, or any of the various ski resort areas on Mount Hood. And if you're living in Portland, it's only about an hour and 30 minutes, give or take, away. Yes, there can be traffic going up to Mount Hood, especially when the ski season begins, but I'm going to give you some insights into what you can expect out of the mountains if you decide you're going to live in Portland, because it is a special place for me. Like I mentioned, I grew up here in Portland. I grew up on that mountain skiing all the time. I still go up to the mountain every winter. I take my kid, who is an excellent skier now, and he started when he was 5. So it's a great thing to experience having a mountain with snow on it really close to where you live because it's a day trip to get up there and back. You don't have to fly anywhere. You don't have to drive for hours and hours and hours. You can stay up close to Mount Hood if you choose to, but it is just a day away from having a fabulous time with you, your partner, your spouse, your kiddos. So let's get after it. So Mount Hood is the closest mountain to the Portland metro area. It is the beacon of shining light when you're in the Portland metro area. And a lot of people look at houses that have views of Mount Hood. I mean, I have a view out my home office of Mount Hood. I get to look at her almost all the time, and it is so much fun to see her, but it's even more fun to go up on the mountain and ski or snowboard or sled or whatever you want to do. There's a myriad of activities. Now, Mount Hood stands at a little over 11,200 feet. She's a beauty. She's not that tall, kind of like yours truly, but she is easy to get up to on a weekend if you want to just pipe up there and maybe take your family sledding, or you want to go skiing, or even learn how to ski. Like I always tell people, when the weather sucks down here in Portland, I head up to the mountain because I know if it's raining and down here, it's likely snowing up there, and you can't have one over the other. So if you can learn how to do a wintry activity, then it makes our winters go by fast. In fact, you look at the bad weather down here in Portland and go, yes, that means up at the mountain, it's probably dropping a bunch of powder. So let's start off by talking about what is on Mount Hood. So first of all, we actually have some variety up there. I'll talk about Timberline as the number one, because Timberline started as the earliest ski resort on Mount Hood. In fact, in the 20s, they built Timberline Lodge, which if you've never been to Timberline Lodge and have no plans of skiing or anything, you should at least go see that for yourself. It is absolutely beautiful. It is made with real timber, and it is a piece of history mixed in with the mountain. And it's a great place to go have lunch, or if you are going to go skiing up at Timberline, you can go in there and have a hot toddy or lunch or grab a drink or just hang out by the fireplace. But it is a beautiful mountain resort that overlooks the valley. You cannot beat the views. And during the summertime, it's even open. So it's actually where a lot of ski teams around North America go to ski during the summertime. Sorry, that was my dog. He was so excited to talk about Mount Hood. But it was one of those places where, as a ski team, there's not a lot of places in the summer that you can go and practice. And so they bring people in from all over the world to learn or to train and ski at Timberline, because the mile goes all the way up to the summit and it stays fairly frozen most of the year. Now there's limitations to that because it probably starts melting around noon and everybody gets off the slopes. But be it as it may, we have year-round skiing at the mountain. They also have mountain biking during the summertime. That they have a big event that happens up there. And there's just a lot going on at Timberline year-round. But during the winter time, it's a great place to go and ski, snowboard. It's great for beginners because they have great little bunny hills right next to the lodge. So if you're looking to, learn to ski, or you have kiddos that want to learn to ski, they've got that right there. You can rent skis. They've got 2 lodges. Actually, they've got a modern one and they've got the old Timberline Lodge. You can actually stay there overnight. It is a hotel. It does have an outdoor pool, and it's quite the experience to stay at Timberline. So I always tell people just go up there and visit it if nothing else, but it's also a great place to ski. There's quite a bit of runs up at Timberline Lodge. You'll have a great time of it. Some people prefer Timberline over Meadows, which we'll talk about next, but Timberline is just kind of you have to go visit it and try it out because it does have world-class views and lodging, and it really is something special. Next, we're going to talk about Mount Hood Meadows. It is the largest ski resort on the mountain. It has 11 lifts and a ton of terrain with mixed variety of expertise. They have Heather Canyon, which is an off-road, ski at your own risk, steep skiing, but they kind of have it all at Mount Hood Meadows. I grew up primarily going to Meadows. I would do ski school there. When I was in college, we would go there with our passes. There was just a lot more skiing to happen in Meadows. It's a newer type of ski resort, and they just put in a new lodge, the Saha Lee. It is awesome. And the thing I love the most is they've got the food down right. So if you're planning on not bringing your own lunch or dinner, it's a great place to go. They usually have local food and beverages from the valley. They always have a health conscious kind of feel, or if you're vegan or whatever, but they have a lot of options for food. It's just a really pretty lodge that they did. The earlier lodge was done back in the 70s, and now there's 2 of them. So there's plenty of space to eat, lounge, hang out, restaurants, food court, that sort of thing. So if that's something that you want to enjoy while you're up with your friends and family, it's a great place to go. And Mount Hood Meadows it's just a large mountain. It's a lot larger than Timberline. And so everybody has their preference. I always find some people really prefer Timberline, some people prefer Meadows. I like them both. I actually fell in love with Timberline in the last couple of years because I'd gone to Meadows for so many years in a row that by the time I got back to Timberline, I was like, oh, this is so fabulous. And it's kind of new and different. So that's great about that. But we also have another ski resort. The third ski resort on Mount Hood is Mount Hood Ski Bowl. Yes, you heard that right. There's a third. You're thinking, where is it? It's right in the town of Government Camp. So one of the main towns that you're going to go through to get to Timberline or Mount Hood Meadows is Government Camp. It sits at a lower terrain. It's the smallest ski resort on the mountain, and it has the best night skiing that exists. So usually when people think of night skiing, they think of Ski Bowl. It's not a very big resort. It's not even a place that you can stay at. There is, hotels and condos and townhomes that you can stay at in Government Camp, so you're close by. But it's just a small, older ski resort that you can take your kids up to. It's very affordable. So if you're looking for something kind of basic, not too high up the mountain, you want to get your feet wet in this whole idea of skiing or snowboarding, then Ski Bowl will suit your fancy and your pocketbook. Now, what if you just want to go up and sled or tube? Well, guess what? That exists on Mount Hood. Right in Government Camp, there is a great snow park called Summit Pass, and it is where you can take your tube or your sled and go down it, and it is a fun, adventurous with a lift to easily get you up and down the hill in which you sled. You can also do tubing at Mount Hood Ski Bowl. They've got some epic tubing hills there. You cannot tube on top of Mount Hood at Timberline Lodge or Meadows, but they've got plenty of options just down below near Government Camp. So don't hesitate to go check those out. There's also Snow Bunny Sliding Hill, another popular spot. It's located in the Mount Hood National Forest. They don't charge any day use fees from like November through May, but you need to have a valid snow park parking permit. And as with all of these ski resorts I'm talking about, you will have to have a snow parking permit. You can easily get them when you get up there. And also you can get your tickets for all of the different mountains. Now, one thing to note is if you buy a season pass for Mount Hood Meadows, it will not work on Timberline and vice versa. So very important to know that, because a lot of people want to save a buck thinking they're going to go up many times per year, and they think they can use both mountain resorts and they're completely separate. So don't make that fatal mistake. If you really love Timberline, buy a Timberline season pass. If you really love Mount Hood Meadows, buy a Meadows season pass. I have found that you have to go up a minimum of 10 times or more to get your money's worth on the season passes. They're not cheap, but if you do a lot of skiing, it's well worth it. Now, the last thing I want to talk to you about is Government Camp, and that is the main town that is on your way up to the mountain. Once you've gone past, a lot of the mountain terrain to get up to the mountain, it's the first and last town you're going to hit before you climb up to Timberline Lodge or Mount Hood Meadows. There are many places to stay, such as Collins Lake, which offers townhomes and condos that have been updated in the early 2000s, and they have an outdoor pool and hot tub area, a great place to stay at the mountain if you're looking to stay a few days or overnight. They also have cabins in Government Camp that you can rent from private owners. There is a grocery store, and there are a few restaurants in the downtown Government Camp area. It's not a super big town, so don't expect a bunch of nightlife, but they have great kind of pubs and pizza places and bar and grill type foods and breweries. So there's enough that you don't feel like cooking one night. You can just go get some food. It's open during the winter season. During the summer season, I hear it's very limited because we have less traffic coming through there. But they do have a really cool grocery store in the downtown area. Not super big, but just enough supplies if you need some stuff. So I highly recommend going to Mount Hood for a day, or maybe to stay there during spring break or go up for a long weekend. It's a beautiful place to feel like you're cozy on the mountain. It's a fabulous place just outside of Portland. I mean, literally is at your fingertips. A lot of people who ski or enjoy the snow go up there on the regular. When they live in the Portland area, it's one of the things at your fingertips. So do not pass it up. I know a lot of people who, don't know how to ski, but they want to go experience snow. They want to take their kids up to go sledding. They want to just go up and have, lunch at Timberline Lodge. It's a great place to go do that. But don't hesitate to learn how to ski or snowboard. I am an avid skier. I love it. It's something I enjoy with my family and my friends. But again, it's just right there at your fingertips. So go enjoy it. And I hope you found a lot of good information on this video. If you guys have any questions or comments, drop them below, share them with me. And if you guys have questions about Mount Hood Meadows or Timberline or any of the things I spoke about, don't hesitate to reach out, and we'll see you guys on the next video. Bye.